I've been asked to do a new video on the Yacht Master. I was waiting, and I am still waiting, and obviously the wait will go on until I can get a green submariner. It's not my fault that I'm waiting. It's Rolex. They're a bit slow. I'm not going to name Mark, but Mark, please, choppy to chop now. It's been long enough. Time for a green submariner, please. Or failing that, one of the other ones that I've mentioned. But if we don't have a green submariner, we have a green Yacht Master. Now, we'll just do some Tommy Cooper hocus pocus magic, and we'll go ha 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 ha, and all of a sudden we have a grassy blue dialed Yacht Master. You see what I did there? You noticed that it was really grass. I really just had grass over it. It's not really a green Yacht Master, it's grass. It's just, yeah, okay. Whilst the wait goes on, I love the comment I got from him when I saw him the first time after my last video. We are actually in the middle of Dartmoor. Of course, I happened to lift up just as Les is washing herself. Well, that's waffled on for 3 minutes, so that will have pleased Mark Goldberg and various other aficionados out there, Bear Clooney, and check out Rolex Collectors World and my group, Tony's Watch Group. I had another request to do another video on said watch. This really is not a Submariner, it's not a Hulk. When I do get another watch, of course, added to my collection in due course, and we just have to be patient in this business, in this game, whatever it is. We just be patient, you know. All good things come to those that wait, as they say. Now, one of the reasons why I come, talking about the Submariner is the Yacht Master is loosely, or indeed not even loosely, was going to be a Submariner. Apparently in early 1990s, I believe it was 1992, Rolex wanted to update their Submariner. So you'll kind of have to imagine that we've got a Submariner here, a green Submariner. So they wanted to upgrade the Submariner, which we don't have yet. So, one good thing, of course, with this watch business is that when you get to know your authorized dealer, you get a nice cup of tea. So I'm waiting to visit again so I can have a nice cup of tea. Of course, we don't have to be buying watches to have tea. We can just pop along and have a nice cup of tea. And you know, the honest truth is, I'm just as happy popping along to say hello and have a cup of tea as I am getting watches. Because when you have an AD as nice as mine, then it's really pleasurable to pop along and spend a few quality moments, talking and being nice and friendly. And under your breath thinking, hurry up! Yeah, we kind of got sidetracked here, haven't we? We've done about 8 or 9 minutes now. We haven't actually spoke about this watch yet. I'll tell you, Mark Goldberg and various others, they will be pulling their hair out thinking, what is this guy doing? He needs to talk about the watch, not waffle. In 1992, Rolex thought they would upgrade the Submariner, and they came out with a whole new design, which effectively was this. This was like this one came out in early 2000 or mid 2000s anyway, but effectively was the Yacht Master. And I think when they looked at it, they thought that it was a bit too fancy to be a Submariner. So rather than changing the Submariner into the Yacht Master, they kept the Submariner, which we still don't have yet, and they brought out the new watch and called it the Yacht Master, because it was still nautical, it was still to do with the sea, but because it was, you know, a bit more fancy than the Submariner, they wanted still to give it a nautical name, so they came out with the Yacht Master. So this is the 40mm Yacht Master. I bought it February last year, so February 2018. So come next year, I would have had this watch for 2 years. A 904 stainless steel bracelet. I was a little bit silly with this one. I got some Cape Cod cloth, and there was a couple of tiny little scratches on here, very, very small, negligible, completely meaningless, of no material problems whatsoever. And for some reason I decided that I'd have a little polish up with the Cape Cod cloth. I actually think I've got rid of the scratches, but I think you can see where I've been fiddle-assing around on it. So my advice, if you have a watch like this, unless there's a really bad scratch that you know, specifically want to remove, leave it bloody hell alone. But, you know, I'm not planning to sell it ever, so it was kind of fun just to see what would happen. I only polished this center piece here. I'm not even convinced that Cape Cod cloth is supposed to be used on that center piece. I just had this feeling it's supposed to be used on these bits out here. And I had this pen thing, and I used this pen thing to try and remove some tiny little scratches. And to be honest, that just, if you pardon the French, foo-fa, thumbed it up, you know, even more. So it's kind of like, once I started, I thought, oh, SHI-T-T-T-T-T. So I then thought, oh, sod it. So I got the Cape Cod cloth out and just gave it a bit of a rub down. So I wouldn't go messing around with them, but it was fun just to practice, and it's fine. So it's 904 steel, blue dial. What I particularly like about this piece is the blue dial, the red second hand, which really does stand out against the blue dial, and then the platinum bezel stands out beautifully. Inside there's a 3135 caliber movement, and that's the bit that goes tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. Now, I've not worn this watch for 24 hours, in fact just over that, so it needs winding up because I haven't been wearing it. I've been wearing my Explorer for this camping trip, and not many people go camping with their Rolex watches. But I did have this one request from someone wanting a video, so I kind of sort of thought, okay, well, I'll bring the watch anyway. So to wind the watch up, you unscrew it to the first position, or is it 0 position? Anyway, you unwind it, and then you just wind it up, and that'll just get a little bit more juice into it. And then if you pull it out one more position, you can change the date only, and if you pull it out all the way, if you go all the way, then you will stop the second hand, and when the second hand is stopped, you can then set the time exactly. Let's screw that down again like that, and it's just ever so slightly out, but not by much. You have a beautiful clasp. It really is an absolutely gorgeous clasp. You have this easy link or adjustable thing here. It's not like the Submariners, which is different. So you can make it shorter and longer depending on the weather. So when it's sunny, when it's normal weather, day-to-day use, I keep it on the short section like that. But if it was really, really hot and sunny, and my hand or wrist got a little bit hot, then you can just, and a bit sweaty and swollen, then you can just extend it. Come on, focus. Then you can just extend it 1/2 centimetre just to make it easier to wear. This actual piece is running within 1.5 seconds a day. Interestingly, last month this watch was accurate to exactly the second. So when I had to put the time back last month, because our clocks went back, of course, after I fiddled with it and had to fiddled with the watch I'm talking about, and I had to put the watch back a little bit of time, well, an hour to be exact. It kind of must have done something to the insides, because it went from being, you know, dead on accurate last month to now being about 28 seconds fast. So it's back to how it generally is. I think last month it must have been just having an exceptionally good month, but it is very much within the Rolex plus or minus 2 seconds a day accuracy. But in a video, you kind of got to have a few facts and figures. Even my waffly videos, we got to have some facts and figures in here. So the hour markers, as in the batons on the inside, they have something called chromolite on them, and if I remember, I'll try and do a night light video and maybe just, you know, edit that in around about here, maybe, if I remember, just to show the luminescent the luminescent whatchamacallits, and that's called the chromolite. The chromolite is surrounded by 18 karat gold bits, so the bits that go around the bits that light up, like the edging bits on the inside, they're 18 karat gold, and I believe they make them gold because it stops them from degrading quite so quickly. The Submariner, of course, is water resistant to 300 meters, because this is just for the Yacht Master, who's obviously going to be a bit too posh to go jumping overboard into shark infested waters. He's just going to be staying on the surface of the water or just having a little paddle somewhere. So this piece is water resistant to 100 meters, which, in all honesty, that is more than enough for nearly everybody's usage. You of course have the Cyclops magnifier over the date at the 3 o'clock position. It's an automatic movement, so when you're wearing it, it's self-winding. And the only reason we wound it up earlier on is because I hadn't worn it for a day and a half, and I don't want it conking out on me. It has a frequency. I don't know what the frequency is, or what it means, or what it does, but it must be something that spins around or something like that. But it has a frequency thing of 28,800 VPH. The movement inside is also magnetic resistant, and whilst I've not put it next to a magnet to test this theory, I do keep it, and I have been advised, not by my dealer, I must ask him about that actually, but I do keep it near my Bose radio thing, which has speakers on it, and of course the speakers are well, theoretically magnet things, aren't they? But I keep it quite close to that, and I've not noticed any effect on this whatsoever. So I don't think keeping a watch near a radio with speakers is a problem, at least not from what I can tell. Maybe it's not ideal, and it would probably be better to keep your watches away from your speakers and your radios, but I don't have any evidence to suggest that it's going to cause a problem, although don't take my word for it, you know, I could be wrong. It is probably better to keep your watches away from your radios. I just don't have any space really to do so. Mrs. Hobbs takes up too much room in the bedroom, so I just use what space I have as I get an occasional more watch. More watches breed, I might have to you know, reconsider that and think more carefully about what I, you know, where I put them, because I'm going to run out of room. I might run out of room otherwise. Oh, then let me just talk about this bezel thing here. It's 120 clicks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 to get to 5, obviously 20 to get to 10. So it's a very, very accurate bezel. You can use it for, I think the idea was you can turn it both ways. As I think my joke went on another video, my watch goes both ways. So Tony, your humour's going to get you into trouble one day. Yeah, so you can turn this both ways. So you can't use this as a diving watch, because obviously if you know, accidentally turned it the wrong way, you could end up, you know, being underwater for longer with your diving apparatus, you know, than is safe to be, and you could end up adding time by accident. As I say, to be honest, I don't actually know at this stage which way the bezel goes on a submariner, because, you know, is that adding time or is that adding time? I don't know. Anyway, we'll find that out one day when I eventually, yes, where was I? Yeah, distracted myself again. So yeah, so if you wanted to time an egg, you could set it there to the time of when you put the egg on, and you'd know that when you got to that point there, you were 3 minutes in, out in the wilds, walking, camping, hiking. There's no reason why, you know, you couldn't also use it to time, you know, waypoints and that type of thing. So then you'd know that that would be approximately, you know, 20 minutes there. And this watch, it fits perfectly on my wrist, as you can see. It's a really, really beautiful piece. It's a beautiful watch. And that concludes my video on the Yacht Master, the 40mm Yacht Master. If I've missed anything, maybe I'll do another video on it at some point in the future. I'll maybe get one other person saying, Tony, where's another video of the Yacht Master? So if I have forgotten anything, then we'll do it on another video. If this video is too long for you, I hope you've turned off a long time ago. So please don't watch all of this and then put a thumbs down afterwards for being too long and too waffly and too complicated and too stupid and ridiculous. So please put a thumbs up and a like on this video, because it's been great fun making it. And as I say, I literally am out here in Dartmoor, in the middle of nowhere, making this video. It's a stretch. Just for you. Not you, you. Yes, you at the back. So, you know, once again, thank you all for watching, taking the time to watch, and I will catch you all again, you know, in another video. Hopefully we'll have a different watch by then. Thankfully my wonderful dealer has a great sense of humour, just as well with me around. I'll catch you all again in the near future. Thanks for watching. It's been great fun and always is. Thank you.